finished Pride and Prejudice finally, and I enjoyed it. I've already seen the movie, both adaptations, and I just wanted to see what the book was like, and I really enjoyed it. It's very similar from the movie and the series, except in the book you get a bit more of Darcy and a little more depth with each character, but overall it's a fantastic book. If you don't know what the book is about and you've been living under a rock, it's about two individuals who exhibit being prideful and prejudice, and it's basically an enemies to lovers sort of story set in the olden 1800s time. I don't know, everyone knows what the story is about. It's silly to even explain what. I find it hard to believe that there's an individual out there who doesn't. Anyways, I gave it 5 stars. I love it. One of them was Carrie. This book starts off weird. It starts off with a teenage girl in high school who has just discovered that she got her period, and all her classmates are kind of making fun of her. They're in the lockers in the shower, and they're basically making fun of her, throwing feminine hygiene products at her and just kind of yelling at her, saying, plug it up, plug it up. That's the catalyst of how the story starts. All of the girls that were making fun of her that day get in trouble, and they need to go to detention because the gym teacher said that's not right, as anyone would say that's not right. You kind of feel bad for her because she's kind of a weirdo. Her mother's this religious fanatic who makes her recite the Bible, and she didn't explain to her what a period was, and she constantly kept her in a closet to recite religious scriptures. But in all that, she discovers that she has telekinetic powers. One of the girls that was making fun of her in that ordeal is a girl named Sue, and she kind of feels bad, so she makes her boyfriend take her to prom just to make amends. But the popular girl named Chris, she has a vengeance on being punished for what she did. The story is told in a interview style sort of format where you're looking back on books that have been written on the incident and interviews of people who survived. And then you also obviously get Carrie's perspective. So it is kind of told in that way, which is sort of dual perspective jumping timelines. And it sort of builds tension that way. That's kind of the story. It's pretty good. I've already seen the movie, the old one, the 1970 something movie, and I thought it was really good. Anyways, yeah, I enjoyed it. And it was a decent read for October. So I gave it 4 stars. The next book I read is The Dirt. And I've been reading this for some time now. I've been on the struggle bus, mainly because it's just large. It did put me in a reading slump, which I didn't prefer, but overall I enjoyed it. There's a reason why it's so big. It's perspectives from all the band members of Motley Crue and their struggles of what happened with Nicky Sixx and his drug usage, to Vince and his car crash and daughter, and then Tommy and the shenanigans he's in, as well as like a little bit of Pamela Anderson. There's not a lot of Mick in here, which, okay. So it's not super balanced, but it's good. Obviously, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. They're womanizers, and they do a lot of drugs, and that's pretty obvious. That didn't bother me because I knew that going in. Compared to the movie, I think the movie adaptation was decent. They created a story in several pages that occur in here, and the movie is kind of concise, whereas this is not so much. It does kind of jump back and forth because you're going through each perspective and timelines overlap, but it's nothing to complain about. It's pretty good. It's not elegantly written or anything. It's a memoir. Memoirs are interesting when the lives are interesting. It was interesting. I gave it 4 stars. Cool. But yeah, these are all the books that I read for now. They're pretty good. 2 4 stars and 1 5 star.